Greg Dunker here, Super Talk, talking with a fellow Lonoc alum, good friend and candidate for judge. You got a button over there. Charles Walters, as we know him as Chuck Walter, and that's what it says on the thing. No, it says Charles. But Charles Walters, you're running for circuit judge.
That's right.
I want to kind of make this clear because we had a little, in the primaries,
right? We
had some stuff for district judge.
Exactly.
I think those two guys are going to face off in the fall.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Different thing.
Well, yeah, it's important to note. Well, there's confusion. You have a county judge executive that's actually your good friend of the show, Craig
Judge Clymer lives right up the road here.
That is more of like the mayor of McCracken County. That's an executive position, not a judicial, not a court presider. For lack of a better term.
Adding to the confusion, of course,
a little
Judge Clymer was a circuit judge.
He was. He was. He was also my partner for a while.
Oh,
after he retired, yes. Go way back with him, my brothers and I. And also, in McCracken County, when you talk about judicial offices, there are three basic courts in McCracken County. You've got family court. We have an excellent family court judge, Deanna Henschel. That as the name implies, takes care of divorces, custody, support, things of that nature. That is a court where you have hearings. You do not have jury trials. Then you have district court, which is the court you mentioned just a moment ago. That's misdemeanor court, small claims, civil matters under, I believe, $4,500, guardianship, probate, landlord-tenant. Judges Hollowell and Todd Jones currently hold those positions, and you had a 4-person runoff in the primary. Then you have circuit court. Yeah. Circuit court is felony court and higher ticket civil matters. It is jury trial. That's where the jury trials take place. What's important about that to me is that's what I've done most of my 36 years of practicing is jury trials. One of my favorite professors in law school, my trial advocacy professor, who is actually also an appellate court judge, still practices in Southern Illinois, a good friend of mine, said jury practitioners, trial practitioners, are craftsmen. You learn your craft, you hone your craft, you develop your craft over years of practice, knowing how to handle juries, knowing how to instruct, question, present evidence. And that's what I've done. To my doctor friends, I kind of compare it. You've got lots of great doctors. Not every doctor is a surgeon. It's not saying that the only good doctors are surgeons, but surgeons is a specialty.
Yeah.
Not all lawyers are jury trial lawyers. It's a specialty.
And I would think that that experience would come in very handy, very practical to be the judge presiding over jury trials when you have such an innate knowledge of the jury process itself.
You need to have at least similar experience to the good attorneys who are in front of you, who are conducting a trial. You need to know those things. And I've done those kind of trials, dozens of trials, in dozens of counties across the river here in Kentucky, both civil cases and criminal cases. And in the criminal cases, both as a defender and as a prosecutor. Prosecutor is what I'm doing now. So
now, the name circuit judge sort of harkens back to the old days.
Circuit riders
of the West, when you had one judge and he would go around on a circuit.
Well, at one time, the circuit that we have encompassed several counties in western Kentucky. Marshall County was included. The Second Circuit encompasses McCracken County, nothing but. The Third Circuit, I believe, is in Hopkinsville, and the Fourth Circuit, I think, is in Owensboro, and the Fifth is in Bowling Green. And the other, smaller Marshall County, some of those are like the 52nd Circuit. That's because they were carved out as some of the larger circuits later down the road. So yeah, there's an interesting history to it.
So horsemanship doesn't play into the job qualifications anymore.
Not for the last several generations, which is a good thing because my horse my equine skills are rather lacking.
Well, you focus on what you need to know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Now, you've been a lawyer for how long?
36 years. Got licensed in Illinois in 1986, moved back to Paducah in 1987, and got licensed in Kentucky in 1988. And I've been doing trial work ever since.
That strikes me as a little interesting. I've been here for 36 years as well.
Yeah. Well, you and I have a lot of similarities.
Except of course for baseball, we love baseball.
Oh yeah.
You were one of the first things you said to me this morning when I greeted you was, "Well, the Reds blew it again last night."
Yes, they did. Gave up 4 runs at the top of the ninth.
You have a certain fatalism when you look at these things.
Well, you're a Cub fan, so you know about the ups and downs and the struggles, and when we first became friends, way back when. The Reds were kind of at an apex, one of the greatest teams in baseball history.
It was one of the huge teams. That team was an iconic team, and you could probably still name the starting 9 out of that team.
Oh yeah. Starting lineup: Ken Griffey, Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, Tony Perez, George Foster, Johnny Bench, Cesar Geronimo, Dave Concepcion. I think I got them all.
Yeah, I think so.
George Foster.
The Cesar Geronimo was one of the great all-time baseball names.
And a great center fielder. I mean, up the middle, they had, you had Bench, Concepcion, Morgan, and Geronimo. So, starting pitching was not their forte. It was not abysmal. I mean, they had some decent starters.
With a team like that, with hitting and defense like that, you could overcome a little pitching, little wobble there.
What I love about it is my favorite team broke the hearts of all the East Coast elite baseball fans in 75 and 76, taking care of the Red Sox and the Yankees. Ken Burns was not quite the name he was then as he is today, but I'm sure he was not a big Reds fan.
A little Schadenfreude shows up from time to time.
Well, given the fact that you and I both have German last names, that's not the worst thing in the world. So,
Chuck Walter is on the ballot for circuit judge. Now, this is for the general election coming up.
Yes, for the general election.
Right.
Yeah,
and you do have an opponent.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure we understood the differences between the district judge thing that we had a runoff for, because those two guys are running this fall.
Yeah,
and this is a different animal. I just want to make sure we understood.
Sure.
All that.
Yeah. I mean, I've wanted this job for a long time. I enjoy trial practice. I mean, I've got the unique jury trial qualifications experience. I've tried auto accident cases. I know what to look for in that. I know what a police officer can and can't say. I know what medical proof can and can't come in under what circumstances. I've done products liability cases. I know engineering qualifications, toxicology qualifications. I've done what's called Dauber motions, as far as what experts can testify and what can't. In criminal law, I've done the same thing. You have to know how to instruct juries. You have to know what's proper as far as jury selection. There's a whole different gamut in that kind of trial, and a process that a presiding judge has to shepherd. And it takes experience. And then there's an important part of it is that the discernment part. Not so much your legal experience is important, but your life experience is important. The things you've done in life as a parent, as an employer, as a spouse, as a member of my church, the work I've done in nonprofits. I've been the board chairman for various nonprofits. I know how to work with people, and I know how to listen, be patient, and come to the right decision. And that is extraordinarily important.
To me,
go ahead.
To me, that trumps everything else. The discernment to be able to listen and come to the right decision. That ability, to me, is what a judge is all about.
Yeah, I can tell that at age 61, I am a better candidate today than I would have been at 51 or 41. I would have been old enough and experienced enough to run for it, but I'm glad that I have the experience today to bring into that court. and applied as a servant. My pastor told me recently, talked about the difference between authority and power. Power is what you use for yourself. Authority is what you use to serve others. I'm going to be a judge who exercises his authority. It's not a power trip. Exercising authority to conduct and control as necessary a courtroom to effect justice. Everybody deserves due process. Everybody deserves equal protection under the law. And when I'm judge, that'll happen.
Chuck Walters running for circuit judge. Listen, Chuck, thanks for coming by. We always appreciate it.
God bless you. Thank you so much for having me.
Come by the next time the Reds win.
And, well, that's going to be a while. So we'll see. Okay, if they win tonight, are you here tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
Monday works.
Monday works. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll store them up. Okay. Thanks, Dunk. I appreciate it.